Joining me now, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West is a former Republican congressman from Florida and a Fox News contributor. Congressman, good to see you. It's amazing to see someone as successful as Oprah Winfrey. I mean, a billionaire, thanks in large part to American viewers loving her. White, black, brown, you name it, loving her, talking about racist Americans.
Yes, and thanks and pleasure to be with you, Megan. It is absolutely appalling and unconscionable that you would have Oprah Winfrey, who is a billionaire by all regards, and then you have the first African-American president, and they're both continually to try to use the race card to talk about the failures and the faults, not in his racial content, but in the content of his character and the failure of his policies. And based upon what Oprah Winfrey described as being a racist, well, then I guess I'm a racist as well, because I don't agree with those policies. But what is really interesting is how, Oprah Winfrey or, Morgan Freeman or some of the others, when black conservatives are attacked viciously by white liberals, you don't hear anything from them. Or when Harry Reid can come out and say that he accepts the president because he's light-skinned and he doesn't use Negro dialect, that's accepted language coming from the left. So there is an incredible hypocrisy, and really it is setting race relations back in the United States of America.
You know, it's amazing because when the only example she offered of disrespect based on race was what we believe is the Joe Wilson incident, where he called out "you lie" when the president was giving a State of the Union address, and he said that illegal immigrants were not going to get, I think, health care coverage under Obamacare. And Joe Wilson yelled out "you lie." All right? So that's her incident of disrespect based on race. Now, in a court of law, that would not fly. There is nothing in that exchange to suggest it's based on race. But some of the other incidents you point to, and even, I mean, didn't Joe Biden once refer to then candidate Barack Obama? Yeah. He's so clean and articulate.
Yes.
Now that would fly in a court of law. And yet, she seems to be. Where is the evidence that the president's critics, and she's not talking about crazy internet, critics from the Sounders. She's talking about Joe Wilson, are basing their upset on race.
Well, there doesn't have to be any evidence for the people on the left. And understand, when you call out the race card, that is the last line of defense for them to try to get you to back off, because no one wants to be called a racist. And that's the means by which you try to silence people. And really, that is a suppression of your freedom of speech in this great nation in which we live. So this is a tactic that comes from the Saul Alinsky Rules for Radicals school of thought, which, of course, was born out of Chicago, which is where the president is from. And if we continue to allow people to throw this against us, Robert Redford just recently did it as well, then we're going to allow the president to believe that he can do and say whatever he wishes and whatever he wants. And you just had Congressman DeSantis on, and you showed that video of what the president said as a candidate back in 2008, how he was going to honor the Constitution, and look at the things that he has done now.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how her ratings have gone down, or her TV success has struggled since she did get political and started making certain statements like this. I mean, there's no question there are some racist people out there, and some people criticize the president based on racist views. But the example she used was telling, and it was interesting to see her honored today. Colonel West, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Megan.